Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm trading the ES futures on a 2000 tick chart with a 21 EMA. So I've got the overnight high up here and the overnight low down here. These are our key levels for the day. So I started trading at 8 Central Time, which is this area right here. Now notice how this swing is in the overnight session still. The overnight highs and lows are not necessarily about the absolute highest and lowest point in the overnight session. It's about where they're most consistent. So clearly we've got this range going on here. We're going sideways, this double bottom right here. It's very clear that this is the overnight low, not down here. This is a more accurate level right there. And so anyway, I started trading right here at 8. We had these two legs down and we start reversing higher here. Now, even though we start reversing higher here, we still have this measured move in play. And so we can expect price to at least attempt to reach that. And so here, this trade right here, notice this on a big picture is downtrend, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, failure. And so even though this we have two legs down already, once again, the measured move is in play. The measured moves act as a magnet. And so that's why I like this attempt to reach it here, and then it rejected the overnight lows, just pushed back above the EMA, very strong signal bar. So I like this right here as a big picture trade. I kept it around this double top right here because, you know, sometimes it'll go to the area of the double top and find more resistance. And so anyway, that's why I didn't push it too far. I just did 1-to-1 standard target. Now anyways, we push on up here, we start reversing back down, and then here, when we start finding resistance in this area, that's when it's a little bit easier to see this uptrend right here. We have this trend line off the lows. It's fitting well off the highs when you drag it up. And so the problem here is, even though it's a third bounce off this key entry point, it's completely blocked by this downtrend line. And so it's really just one leg down. I mean, I see that there's a first entry long right there and then second entry down here. That's really just one leg down right there. I just see one sharp leg down. I don't see any sort of second entry, at least not on a big picture that I would enter based on. But then here, I ended up kind of tricking myself right here. I got stopped out. But so here, now we have this first leg down, break, second leg down. Now there's one thing I want to go over. So you see this measured move right here. I'm going to remove that arrow really quick. So measured move up. As soon as this measured move was met, it immediately reversed back down. And so this is two attempts to fade. So we broke out, and then we have these two legs up fading the range. And so when you have the measured move met, price could easily just reverse, like it very often does at measured moves. And so you can expect two attempts in the other direction, just like you had these two attempts down into the breakout, two attempts fading, and then as soon as you met that measured move, you start pushing back down. You can expect two attempts in the other direction. And so here, when you get this sharp push down, break, and then a second push down, and then it starts struggling to get back above the EMA, at the end it has a good bar, and it's, you know, it's a very good signal bar pushing back above the EMA. But the point is, now you have this in play, this measured move in play. And so I took this long after the first attempt at a new low, which is just it's a simple mistake, you know, kind of like what I was talking about over here. We have this downtrend, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, failure. Same thing here. After that measured move is met, we have this new high, downtrend, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, failure. And so I ended up getting stopped out on that. I just liked it. You know, it was that fourth bounce off the key entry point. It has two legs down, but I did blank out on that measured move in play, especially considering it had to do with that last trade. That's a bit annoying, but these trades were happening pretty fast. All these trades were within 15 minutes, so this trade is right at 8:30. This one is right before 8:40. This one's around 8:45 right here. And so I ended up getting the real trade right after. I got hit right there, and then I got the real trade immediately after, because I had realized my mistake before I was even stopped out. I ended up holding it in, but I knew what I did wrong. And so then we got that second attempt to reach that measured move, rushed back above the EMA, decent signal bar. That's when I wanted to continue fading this range, continue trying to play out the range rules, which is to reach the other side. And so we push on up here, and we continue higher. We get into this congestion right here. Unfortunately, there's no clear setups. I was going to look for a long down here. Once the range was established at that point, we could have gotten two clear legs down with a good signal bar above the EMA, but by the time you get this closing all the way above, this is just closing way too high up. You don't know I mean, you just don't have any room, so there's no way that you would expect this to work. if I draw the risk to reward here, look how far you'd have to push it out. Your stop would be down here, and then by the time you reach the highs, you're only like, 10% into the range or something. So, or into the trade, I mean. So there's no reason to go long on that. And then as this price action formed, I did extend this channel here, adjusting it. So anyway, then here we get this plummet out. Notice how we get this two-legged break. So this is a confirmed uptrend right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces off those lows, 1, 2 off those highs, or 3 off those highs. This is definitely a confirmed uptrend here. And so then we get this two-legged break. Now, like I say, price action levels get bigger as more time goes on. So that at first what you would see is uptrend, break, first attempt higher, second attempt higher. But you must remember, price action levels get bigger as more time goes on, and price will break in 2 legs. Just like you'll have 2 attempts at a new high, you'll often get two-legged breaks. So really what this is uptrend, break. This whole thing right here is the break. Okay, everything in this channel is the break. It's not break, first attempt higher, second attempt higher. That is what it is on a small picture. That is how you would view it on that first level. As soon as it breaks, you can even look for 2 attempts higher right there, and then possibly get a short. Now it's not going to be an enormous short because because it's just the first level after the break. But then after you get this first attempt higher there, second attempt higher there, you can clearly see that it's a two-legged break. So uptrend, break, and then you have your first attempt higher right here, and then it really just stays within that one sharp move up right there the whole time. So what I was thinking could happen was, let me just get rid of these really quick. I'm trying to. So what I was thinking was we could get uptrend, break, first attempt higher, and then a break from that first attempt, and then a second attempt starting from somewhere down here. But we did just continue up pretty consistently, pretty sharp. But so anyway, after we get this two-legged break, notice how as soon as that measured move is reached, it pushes back above, and we do get this failed second entry. It's not a good entry. You can see first entry short, second entry short, failure. It's just, there's no real pullback on this failed second entry. It's just going up the entire time. There's no real pullback. A good failed second entry will look like something more like this. Notice how in this, what I'm drawing here, you have a clear pullback. What you see here is just you're continuing up the entire time, and so that's just like buying high, like buying the high of a move. So there's no reason to think it would really continue up. And then notice how choppy it was if you did enter on that. But you do end up winning, so doesn't mean it's going to work out like that next time. So anyway, we continue up higher here. At first we're in this thinner channel here, and then I start to extend it as more price action forms. And then here it's just blocked by this STT. STT means short-term trend line. You don't want to enter into that. If we could have gotten a leg down, a clear break, and then a second leg down, closing out of STT, we could have gotten something, but this right here is just too risky to enter long on. And so we continue up again. Same basic thing happens here. It's blocked in STT, and then by the time it does close out, you don't have any room to that overnight high. And so what could have happened was we have this leg down, break, and we get some kind of second leg down, and then holding on this trend line again with room if we could have gotten a small bar, but unfortunately we just get this big bar, no room. Your stop would have to go all the way down here. Look how far you'd have to push it out of that overnight high. You can't just bet on it breaking out of that like that. Even though you see that work out right here, that doesn't mean the next time you get an entry into the overnight high, it's going to work out. It could easily tap it and just plummet back down. So that's why I don't like anything in there. And then we just continue up, and then we haven't touched the EMA since, which of course there's no trades. But we are into this uptrend right here. Notice how we have this overshoot, and then it recovered right there, so we could extend that. We'll see how it holds, but this likely is not going to last long because this is a very sharp trend. Trends that are healthy are at a 45-degree angle. Like notice how this trend is a lot more healthy looking than this, because this is more like a spike, and spikes do not last very long. And so anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Maybe the next possible trade that could happen is some kind of break out of this with a very small entry to the other side of the range, maybe with 2 legs down, but that would be a very small trade anyway. So easily what could happen is, because I want to draw one more measured move really quick. So we had this in play here. We just obviously cranked way past it. As it's funny because we actually kind of went up to that measured move pretty subtly, and then after we reached it, that's when we started spiking up more. And so we could easily get a reversal pattern back down. This really is a good place for it. It's not like we're in a confirmed, trending day yet. It's really just 2 legs up, and then the second leg was way bigger. And so we could easily reverse back down and just continue this range down here. But yeah, so I'm done for the day, so I'm not going to stick around to see what happens, but that is what I would be waiting for if it was earlier in the day. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hope it helped out in some way. Hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.